Hi there, I'm Sonia Davis, spiritual strategist, and I'm here to talk to you specifically about what's going on in February 2026. This is about the energies of what's happening overall so that you can understand how to work with them. The whole point of sharing these kind of energy updates with you is so that you can use this information to work with it rather than against it. It's a bit like knowing the weather forecast before you go for a long walk, so you know what clothing to put on. If it's going to be 25 degrees and brilliant sunshine, you're not going to go out wearing a thick jacket and raincoat, okay? And vice versa. When you know what's going to be happening, you can adapt, you can flex with it, you can be ready for what's coming up for you. And that's why I'm here to share this with you. Now, the reason I'm doing this video for February 2026, and I'm recording it today, it's the 5th of February already, is we are in probably the most powerful 2 weeks upcoming energetically that we have ever been through in the history of our planet. And that sounds a very dramatic thing to say, but it's true. There are combinations happening astrologically and energetically over the next couple of weeks that have literally never happened before. Now, I'm going to share with you the headlines of what these are, but I want you to bear in mind, I'm not an astrologer. I'm a very enthusiastic amateur and I follow a lot of incredible astrologers. If you want to know who, just let me ask me, drop a comment below and ask, and I'm happily list their names. There's quite a lot of them. But what I do is I work with the energies that are going on predominantly so that you can then understand them. Because for me, there's a huge amount in the spiritual world, which is all very out there and esoteric and wonderful. And don't get me wrong, it is wonderful. And I have a lot of fun playing with this stuff. I live and breathe it every day. It's amazing. But there's an element that misses, which is about grounding it into the practicality. And for me, the real essence of what this all is about is so that you can make it real, so you can make it work for you in your day-to-day life. And your day-to-day life is not the same as my day-to-day life, right? And that's the point. But when you know what the energies are, you can make informed choices around how you use them. And that's what this is about. So let me give you the headlines of what's happening in February 2026. So we have got, so yesterday on the 4th of February, and bearing in mind my timings on these are based in UK time. Okay, so if you're in a different country, you may need to adjust for time zones, which can mean the date is different, but it's adjust for the time zone you're in. 4th of February, so that was yesterday, Uranus went direct. Uranus is in Taurus right now. Uranus has been retrograde for a few months. And this is where, this is an energy that says, right, let's stop thinking about what's been before. Let's move forward. It's a very forward action. Uranus is very fast moving. It's a fast-paced change. Okay. We've also got, and that's, and I say I'm not, and if you want to know the details of that astrologically, please do just ask, and I will send you to people who can talk about these things far better than I have. I'm not a professional astrologer, but Uranus energy is about change. It's about pulling you back into a place of where you're meant to be rather than necessarily where you are. Uranus isn't subtle either. That's the other thing to be aware of. It can be quite seismic. It can be seismic change, and that can be literal as well. So, you know, seismic activity. Pam Gregory is the expert on that one. You want to go and follow her if you're interested in that. We've also got, we've just had a massive load through January of Aquarius energy being very, very activated. The last full moon in Leo on the 1st of February, there was a lot of Aquarius energy going on there, and Pluto has been very activated in Aquarius as well. So that's all been a planet of deep transition. And Pluto is in Aquarius for a very long time, 2040 something, I can't remember the number. Again, professional astrologers will give you the more specifics on that. But Pluto is the deep inner transformer, and it's for the benefit of all rather than self more than anything, because it's in Aquarius. And a lot of the personal planets, so Mars, Mercury, Venus, have been moving through Aquarius. And I mean, the sun is in Aquarius right now as I'm recording this, and it moves into Pisces. But we're about to move into a lot of Pisces energy. That's kind of the point of saying all of this. So on the 6th, which is tomorrow, as I'm recording this on the 5th, Mercury goes first into Pisces. And then on the 11th, Venus goes into Pisces. And then the sun goes into Pisces on the 18th. And I'll come back to that. But all of this Pisces energy is very dreamy, it's very thinky, it's very spiritual, it's very esoteric. But in combination with all the other stuff that's going on, it can make you may find yourself questioning things like, what's the meaning of life? Why am I here? What matters to me? And this is about your spiritual connection. Above all, this is your spiritual connection. That's how I'm reading this energy. February is the time when you go, I want to connect with something on a higher level, on a higher dimension. Now, it doesn't matter how spiritual you are or not right now. If all you're doing, and let's be honest, you wouldn't be here at all if you weren't interested in this stuff, okay? So if all you're doing is going, I'm really curious about this, but I don't know anything about it, that's okay. That's you connecting subconsciously into your spiritual side. True spirituality is not about flying out there. It's about connecting with yourself at a much deeper, more profound level. So that energy is carrying us through the rest of February, that sense of connection to something bigger than just ourselves, connection to whether that's your own, an existing belief system, faith system, because that does not contradict with spirituality, by the way. They do sit alongside each other. They're not the same thing. They're different elements of a bigger picture. So if you're finding yourself through February, particularly after tomorrow when Mercury moves into Pisces, and then the rest start to follow quite quickly, you may be finding yourself questioning your sort of meaning of life. What's your purpose? What do you want your purpose to be? This is a good time to be thinking about this stuff. Now, the other really, really big thing that is going on right now is we are building towards an unprecedented conjunction on the 20th of February. Now, that is where Neptune and Saturn meet together at 0 degrees of Aries, which is literally the beginning of the zodiac. Now, this has not happened for 6,000 years. And there are other planets, some of the dwarf planets, the smaller ones, which are in an alignment that, as far as anyone has been able to find out, and like I say, I am not the expert in this, has literally never happened. This particular configuration has never happened before. Now, some of the dwarf planets, which I'm getting increasingly fascinated by their impact, I mean, some of them have multiple thousand-year orbits. So this is not something that is normal, regular, every day. This happens every year. Some of the things do happen every year, but some of these things are not normal. They're not what we've been through before. And that's the point. That's why I'm sharing this with you. So on the 14th of February, Saturn moves into Aries. Now, Saturn has been in Pisces, dreamy, esoteric, what's going on out there, for 30 years, since 1996. And I want to credit my friend Rachel Maria Bell for that insight and connection around it being 1996. So Saturn is really deeply practical, very practical. Saturn's the one that gets you bills paid, gets your strategy written, gets you organized, gets things done. Saturn likes structure and order. Saturn isn't comfortable in Pisces. Saturn has not been comfortable, and the last 30 years since 1996 haven't been comfortable for a lot of reasons in many different ways. So have a think back, particularly over the next week. Like I say, I'm recording this on the 5th of February. Between now and the 14th, well, the 13th. So you've got 8 days. What's coming up for you that relates back to something that happened, has its origins in 1996? What happened for you back then? And have a look at where that is being highlighted for you right now. It may have been something really small, may not be obvious, but this week, this next week until the 14th, what you may find is you're suddenly remembering things and you go, oh, hang on a minute, that's the thing. That was the thing that changed things. That's where and I'm not going to lie, I had my own epiphany on that. Yes, just yesterday. And there was something that happened for me in 1996 that actually stopped me trusting my intuition. That was a big one. Now, I trust my intuition completely, but there was a layer of disconnect underneath that's been blocking me that I didn't see until it came up yesterday when Uranus went direct, interestingly, which is also conjunct my own natal moon. But anyway, I'm getting into detail. So it's hitting me very, very, very hard right now. But that epiphany has gone, oh, that's where it all changed. That's where some of my ability to connect with my spiritual self, Pisces, I switched off. And that understanding now, which is what I'm actually actively working on, is helping me to reconnect more deeply with my spiritual side and connect even more with my intuition, with my instincts, with opening up even more pathways for me. Now, that's my example, and I'm sharing that with you so that you can see there are practical ways that this might show up. So it might have been something like a conversation you had, or a decision you made, or a change that happened in your life 30 years ago. The lessons are now ready to be completed for you to let them go, lock them out and go, right, that's done. That is finished. That cycle is completing. And on the 14th of February, September, what? 14th of February, sorry, that 30-year cycle is ended and we start a new one when Saturn moves into Aries. And Saturn into Aries is bang, let's go. It's fire energy. It's fire. It's let's move, let's go. And it's really practical. It's going to bring the fire. So watch out in the world around you as well. And I'm not here to comment on global events, but that may happen in things going on around you. You may see things start to change from then. But I really want to invite you to pay attention to what's going on for you personally. What is coming up for you right now? As you're listening to this, as you're watching me telling you about this, what's landed in your head? What's trust your instincts? We are still in Pisces, and that is why this is happening in Pisces. Your instincts will be saying, oh, that thing. You're being invited right now with Saturn's practicality to go, right, I've acknowledged that thing. Now look at it. Let's get it cleared over the next week. Really go into it, really have a look at it and see how you can close out that cycle so you're not carrying it forward with you, because everything changes the following week. I'm now going to talk about the 17th of February. Now, the 17th of February, we have a new moon in Aquarius. We have also an eclipse. Now, this eclipses are always really powerful. Eclipse season is happening early this year. I've got to be honest, it's a bit early. For me, I was like, oh, hang on, February, what? Eclipse. There is an eclipse happening on the 17th with a new moon in Aquarius. Eclipses always condense time. New moons are new beginnings. Aquarius is for the good of everyone. This is for the good of humanity. So the eclipse supercharges the power of the new moon. This is a new beginning. This is all a new beginning. And because it's in Aquarius, it's a new beginning for the entirety of this planet. That's what it's about. It's for the good of all, not self. So this new moon in Aquarius, supercharged by the eclipse, is your invitation to really think about what you want your future to look like. Really look like. This is the point to go, this is what I want. I've cleared out all the stuff I don't need anymore. And believe me, 2025 was a huge clear out. I'll talk about the Chinese astrology in a second, but year of the wood snake, shedding, releasing, transformation. It was a 9-year 2025. And that is all about clearing endings, releasing. Everything we are going through right now is about clearing things so that the new beginning can happen. February is where the new beginning actually happens. So if you haven't done the work yet, if there's something you've been avoiding within yourself, if there's a decision you've been putting off, if there's something you go, I really want to do that, but I haven't done it yet, I haven't got round to it, I've been putting it off, do it. If it's something you really want, make it happen. Take the first step. This is not a time to be holding back. This is about you. Everything we're doing now is about you, your personal power, you reclaiming you away from the confines of what you've done to fit in with society around you, keeping other people happy. This is the time to take that step that says, I'm putting me first. Because spoiler, when you put you first, everyone else gets a better rap as well. This is what I've been living the last few years, and it's incredible. I was a chronic people pleaser. I used to sacrifice my own needs for everyone else. I was always bottom of the list. Do you know what? I don't do that anymore. Do you know what? Everyone else is better for it as well. Everyone else appreciates it. Everyone else gets more out of me because I put me first, which means I have the capacity to help others with more abundance from me, more gifts from me, more ability, more resources available. If you're depleted because you're giving everything to everyone else first, this is the time to say no more. Bring it back to you. What do you really want? This is about your dreams, not what you believe other people's expectations are. If you're a perfectionist, it's actually giving yourself permission to say, I'm not going to get so hung up on those details that actually don't matter. I'm going to do the work to get rid of that perfectionism so that I can move forward, because your perfectionism blocks you. And I could list all the other ways that you get in yourself. You know what they are for you. Okay, my people pleasing was a big one for me. Yours may not be that. It may be perfectionism. It may be any other of those things that you might be doing that get in your way, procrastinating, putting things off, that lack of confidence in yourself, that lack of trust in yourself, doesn't mean it's your fault. This is not about judgment. This is about going, now's the point where I choose differently. And that new moon eclipse on the 17th of February is your time to go, I'm choosing differently. Doesn't mean you've got everything in place by then. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to sit and watch this and go, right, I want to do a 3-month program with you on becoming limitless and I'm going to have it all done in by the 17th. No. But this is about making the decision that you're going to do that and putting an action step in place to make that happen. Okay, again, just an example. But if you wanted to step into becoming limitless 3-month one-to-one program before the 17th, just send a message. Just say, can you send me the details? Whatever it is. Now, that's not what this is about. That's not what this video is about. But that's an example. I want to do this thing. I know I need to do this thing. I'm going to do it. Make the commitment to yourself. That's the point. Take that first step. Show the universe that you are committed. Because then on the 18th, the sun moves into Pisces from Aquarius. So that new moon is right on the final degree of Aquarius, which has even more power as well, by the way, just saying. It's going to be supercharged. The sun moves into Pisces on the 18th. And then on the 20th, this is the one that hasn't happened in 6,000 years. And I credit Heather Ensworth with the research on this. 6,000 years since this last happened, where Saturn and Neptune were in absolute conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries, which is the very beginning of the zodiac. Now, Pam Gregory talks about that as the point of pure potentiality. Everything begins again. Everything starts again. This is the new beginning for humanity. Now, overlaid with all of that, and I'll touch on the Chinese astrology here a little bit, only a tiny bit, because I'm absolutely not, even less of an expert in that than I am in Western astrology. On the 17th, with the new moon, with the solar eclipse, we stop being in the year of the wood snake, the shedding and releasing. So up to and including the 16th, we are still shedding and releasing. That's why that Saturn moving into Aries on the 14th might hit you hard if there's stuff you haven't cleared out from 30 years ago. You might be feeling that right now as I'm recording this. You might be feeling it going, oh, there's something going on. I can't find it. I don't know what it is. That could be doing that. Because on the 17th, we move into the year of the fire horse. The fire horse is fast. It's action. It is racing ahead. It is fiery energy that moves with passion and conviction and forward motion. Think about a wild stallion running free across the plains. That's the energy. Churning up the meadows with its hooves. Just think about that energy. That's where we go. That's where everything shifts. We are really moving forward. So we've got this opportunity in the next couple of weeks to finish off anything that we haven't cleared out yet. To really make those steps to go, right, no more. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not here to please others. I'm not here to be a perfectionist. I'm here to make things happen. Put those intentions in place with the new moon, because that's when the fire horse leaps forward and goes, right, we're doing it. And with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction on the 20th, and they're all within, this might as well all be happening at the same time. Let's be honest. It's so intense and they're so close to each other. On the 20th, when that Saturn-Neptune conjunction happens at 0 degrees of Aries, everything's in Aries now. Those big, big planets are in Aries. Saturn is in Aries for 30 years. You're setting the intention for your next 30 years and beyond. So whatever you put in place now, between now and the 17th, is going to set where you go next over the next 30 years of your life and beyond, because this is at 0 degrees of Aries. This is actually like, this is the entire zodiac again before we come back round it all. This is the last time this happened was 6,000 years ago. This is a new beginning from 6,000 years ago. The next one, I mean, I don't know the numbers. I absolutely don't. But let's assume it's another 6,000 years before this happens again. So what we put in place now, we're setting the tone and the intention for the next 6,000 years on this planet. Now, all right, you and I are not going to be here for that. Let's be honest, right? Not in this current incarnation anyway. We may or may not be on a soul level. Who knows? That's impossible to know right now. Depends what's in your soul contract and what your journey is. But these are such huge times. These are times to really take control of what you really want. This is not about doing things because you feel you ought to. This is about doing the things that feel right for you and creating the systems, the processes, the intentions, the commitment to yourself to make those things happen. Now is the time. We're in the last little bit before we launch into the new, before that fire horse sets off on his ride across the plains, before Saturn and Neptune go, right, we're in Aries, we're going. We are going. It is go time. The things that you've been putting in place, right, we now go, go, go. What do you want to take with you? What do you want that to be? Because once we get to that point, and we're so close right now, we're right on the edge of it. Once we get to that point, we don't go back. We move forward. We run forward. We fly forward. It's powerful. It's potent. And it's all about your energy and what you want to take with you. What do you want your future to look like? Really, really in here. Not in here, in here. Fit your heart. Ask yourself, take a moment to go quiet and go, what do I really want? Here's something you can try. A little exercise that I like to do once in a while. I redo it probably about at least every year, sometimes more often, depending on what's going on. Give yourself a little quiet space, add 20, 30 minutes, something like that, where you won't be disturbed. It can be out and about, doesn't have to be sitting at a desk. And I want you to imagine for a moment that you've won multiple millions on the lottery or whatever, right? You've got this massive windfall. It's not about what would you do with the money. The point of that, imagining that, is you don't need to worry about money ever again. You are able to buy anything you want. You have no bills to worry about, anything. Money is no longer relevant. It's there, it's done, it's sorted. Forget about it. What do you want to do? What do you really want in those circumstances? When you don't have to work, you don't have to worry about anything financially. You can buy your family members the houses and the dream lives that they want as well. Say, let's, all of that stuff. What do you want when money is irrelevant? because that comes from your heart. What would you do? How would you spend your time? Because time is a currency as well in this version of reality. I'll park the time conversation for another one because linear time doesn't really exist. But anyway, that's another conversation for another day. But what would you do with your time? How would you spend the currency of your time, your current human lifetime? What do you want? You don't need to worry about anything. What do you want to happen? How would you do that? And when you know what that is, okay, take that moment, take that time to dream and go, oh my goodness, I'd do this and I'd do this and I'd create this and whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. Now you know what's on there, and write a list if you want, or mental list, or voice note it to yourself, or actually physically pen and paper. I'm a big fan of pen and paper. That's my thing. Write it out. All the things that you would want to do. Everything. Put it on there. Dream big. This is time to dream. When you've got that, have a look at what is the essence of each of those things on that list. So, for example, if it's, I want to go and help, I don't know, pangolins. I love pangolins. Do you know, I've actually got a spirit animal that's a pangolin. I'm giving you random facts here, but fabulous creatures. I adore them. I want to go and save pangolins. Right, okay. What can I do? Now I'm if in that scenario and I can go out there and can fly out to wherever, although I don't fly, but different issue. I can travel, I can send money, I can do all those things. What would I do now when I haven't won the lottery? How can I bring the essence of supporting pangolins into what I do now? And bring an element of that into my now reality. How could maybe I would travel more. Maybe you would go and, I don't know, run a farm. Right. So that might not be feasible for you right now in the practicality, but how can you bring the essence of doing that into your day-to-day life now? This is about setting intentions. This isn't about saying I'm going to win the lottery, because that's probably not, let's be honest, not going to happen. But how can you create the energy of the things that you really want from in here and bring those into your life now? That's a really powerful exercise to do. What would motivate you to get out of bed in the morning if you didn't need to worry about money? What would drive you? What would be your passion? What would make you joyful? That's what it's all about. When you have that list and you bring that energy into your day-to-day life, doesn't mean you can do everything. I can't go out and save all the pangolins, but I might be able to do something small now, like a donation to a pangolin charity, or do you know, or whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be financial. Maybe donate my time, maybe to, you know, promote the issues. Whatever it is, I can bring an essence of that thing into my here and now, and that might bring me joy. I'm now thinking, watch out for stuff about pangolins from me. Anyway, but that's the point. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to go and do all the things that I would have if money was no object, but you can still bring an essence of that in. So this month is all about, let's get rid of the fears, let's get rid of the doubts, let's get rid of the ways that you sabotage yourself without even realizing. And spoiler alert, it's probably not your fault. It's energetic stuff that will be holding you back, and deep psychological stuff from probably childhood, possibly even past lifetimes, that will be sabotaging you. But you can commit to doing the work to get rid of those things. Hello, that's what I'm here to do. But drop me a message if you want to know more about that. That's not what this video is about. But this is the time to commit to your future. This is going to change everything. And just a little public service announcement around this as well. This is massive, massive shifts for the whole planet. You will see lots of things. It's already happening. Whether you watch the news or not, I don't, by the way, but that's fine. Whether you watch it or not, you will be aware there are all sorts of crazy things going on out there. They are coming to light right now so that you can choose differently, so that you can choose, I'm not going to be part of that. I'm choosing differently. I'm choosing myself. I'm choosing love. I'm choosing joy. A lot of the stuff that's going on out there is noisy and being designed to create the noise to grab your attention. You can choose to disconnect from that. Now, that's not about bypassing, that's not about negating anything that anyone is suffering with right now. Absolutely not. A part of what I do most days, I don't manage it every day, but most days is get involved in Pam Gregory does a meditation, energetic meditation every day at 7 o'clock, 15 minutes. It's totally free. There's no online. It's like you connect energetically, and we send love, healing, and compassion to everyone on the planet. So it's an energetic input to soothe the suffering and to heal and all of that stuff. So there's still things you can do that are practical, but you don't have to put your attention on the noise. But public service announcement is that noise is likely to get louder. It's likely to get a lot louder. I heard someone say recently, and I forgive me because I can't remember who it was, so I can't credit them with it, that the bullies are always the loudest ones in the playground. And the nice ones are always the quiet ones that you don't notice. That's the point. The bullies, the ones who have thrived and maintained their power and control, that is now being exposed for all to see, they're shouting louder and louder and louder to try and get your attention, because the more you stay in fear, the less energy you have to stay in love and joy. When you stay in love and joy, it's that quiet disconnecting, that quietly going, no, I'm not paying attention to you anymore. Hello, bully. You don't actually bother me. I'm not going to listen to you. The best response to a bully is to ignore them. They hate that. They really hate that. Fighting back, that feeds them. They love that. But energetically, now look, I'm not talking about whether or not you want to go and fight for what you believe in. You carry on. If that's your truth, you do that if that's right for you. What I'm saying is don't get caught up in doing it because you feel you ought to. Make your own choice around that. Now, for some of you watching this, getting out there and fighting is absolutely what you are here to do. And I celebrate you. I genuinely do. For me, that's not my place. That's not what I'm here for. And that's okay. You will have your own version of that. So make your own judgment. But what I will invite you to do is make that judgment from your heart, not your head. Don't get caught up in the noise that is noisy for the sake of getting your attention, not because it actually needs to be noisy. That's my little, but expect it to get louder. The path of love and joy is the quiet one. That's what I invite you to become part of. So it is a momentous time, and there is more to come over the rest of this year. 2026 as a whole is really, really big, and I'm not, like I say, I'm not here to talk you through the full astrology of everything, but I am here to say these next couple of weeks are pivotal in what you create for your future. I really hope this has been useful. Please do comment below if there's anything that's come up for you in this. Comment below or reach out to me, send me a private message. My social media links are below. If you're finding this video and we haven't connected before, please do connect with me on my other social media channels, and you can send me messages through those as well. If you don't want to comment publicly, that's okay too. I'm always happy. Confidentiality is really important to me. So thank you so much for being here. If you have found this at all useful, please do like this video. It really helps it get out to more people. And please do subscribe to my channel if you're not already, because again, it makes a massive difference to the way that this platform puts these videos out and shares them with more people. So thank you for being here. I hope you have found this useful. I really genuinely want you to be able to thrive in this new world that we are all creating together. It starts in here, it starts with you. And if you want some help with that, do reach out to me. Otherwise, thank you. I am sending you so much love as we navigate these powerful times. And I will see you again soon. Take care.